around the world and across the country. What do you know? It's Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, it's 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning at 1 a.m. in London and 10 a.m. in Tokyo, Japan. Hi, everybody. My name is Frank Allan, and welcome aboard once again to another edition of Talk Back Live. Here with you every Thursday as we are, and we come to bring you great conversation, and we want you to join in with us, to be part of us. We're here every Thursday for a whole full hour. And just in case you're just joining us for the first time, well, then I got to explain to you, there's a protocol here. You come in and just come in. You know, you don't need a union card or any kind of membership or anything like that. Just come in each week as we come along and entertain you. We broadcast both on Facebook, and I see all the people on Facebook watching us. We're broadcasting on Facebook, we're broadcasting on YouTube, and also on Instagram, where everybody's watching, and we thank you so much for being along with us. Now, you know, we have a conversation. So what I'll do, as the host of the show, I personally like to, make sure that we get things rolling. So I'll start off the conversation, whatever the conversation is. And the conversation basically is just to get the ball rolling, get the show rolling. And all you have to do is just type in if you have anything to say, anything in particular to say. All you have to do is type in. I'll see you right there on the big screen. And I will answer you, and I'll even entertain all of your questions or anything that you have to say. We'll entertain it. And everybody's around. We're just one big happy family, and we're here. And of course, we thank you so much for being along with us. Later on in the program, not too far away, we're going to get a call directly from Charlotte, North Carolina. Brian Camp, our sports guy, he's coming in with sports update. He'll bring you the latest developments in today's world of sports. There's so much to sports to talk about. And as, of course, you already know, the baseball season is over. Everybody's watching football games and then the basketball games and then everything else coming on. So, ladies and gentlemen, we want you to stay with us and just enjoy, because we're going to be with you for a whole full hour. And listen, just in case you're just joining us, now you people on Facebook, you already know the protocol. If you're watching us on Facebook, all you have to do is tag your friends. Do me a favor, tag your friends. You got a lot of friends, right? Tag them, bring them over to the side. All you have to do is just tag this show to them and bring them over and let them be part of us too, because you'll never know. They may come back again and again, just like you. And if you're watching us on YouTube, we advise you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you can do that right now, as a matter of fact, because when you subscribe to the YouTube channel, what happens is that every time we go on the air live, as we are now, you will be notified. There'll be a notification for you. Also, if we post like a video or something that's entertaining, anything to that nature, you will be notified. So that's one of the perks of being a part of YouTube. And for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, all you have to do is follow us. Just as simple as that. We thank you so much for being along with us. And as usual, we want to make sure that we say hello to all of our friends and people who work in the hospitals, whether they're doctors, nurses, even the people in the medical records, all of the people that just keep things rolling and rolling. I want to say hello to our first responders, the police officers, the firefighters, all the transit workers all across the country, bus drivers, as they say today, bus operators. They don't say drivers anymore. Bus operators and subway operators, conductors, everyone that keeps all of our cities going, no matter where you are around the world. If you have transit, they keep the thing going. We keep everything going. Even right through the pandemic, things were going smoothly. We just kept things going smoothly. So we want to thank you all for that. And we want you to stay with us. Those of you, and I mentioned that, all the people in the hospitals, and I mentioned that just to build up to something. I'm reminding everyone to stay proactive with their health. Make sure that everything is safe with you and your family, your friends, anyone that you meet. Be safe with them. Continue to wear your mask, use that hand sanitizer, and most importantly, get vaccinated. A lot of people are still on the fence about it. That's okay. We're going to try to rope them in there and see if we can do that. Get vaccinated. It's very important. And think about it. If you're saying right now, well, I don't need to be vaccinated. I don't want to be vaccinated. For whatever the reason is, it could be I don't know, a medical reason. It could be a religious reason, whatever it is. But if you're able to do it, I advise you, because I'm here to tell you it's safe. And of course, there are three vaccines on the market. You already know that. There's J&J, Moderna, and Pfizer. And those of you who are getting the vaccinated, or have been vaccinated already, let's say we say about 6 months to 8 months after you have been vaccinated, fully vaccinated with the two shots of Moderna and Pfizer, and that one shot of J&J, you got to get vaccinated, get your booster. Now, if you take J&J, 2 months after you take your J&J shot, which is only one shot, you are eligible to get a booster if you're over the age of 65 and over. They're working on the other ages right now. You are eligible to get vaccinated. Those of you who have been vaccinated by either Moderna or Pfizer, you should wait 6 months after you get that for your booster. And then once you get your booster, then you're all set. And as a matter of fact, speaking of that, I just got my booster just yesterday. I just decided. I said, hey, I think this is the right time to do it. I was going to do it in December, but there was an open space for it, and I just went for it. I said, you know what? I got a little time on my schedule today, so I'm just going to go for it. And that's exactly what I did. So I'm all set. I have my flu shots. I took that, because one day I went to my doctor's office, and he said, did you take your flu shot yet? I said, no, I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that. When it's coming up, I'm going to take that, because I usually go to my local pharmacist. And he says, well, would you want it right now? You can take it right now. Would you like to have it now? And I said, well, I didn't know that you did it. And he did it. So I didn't have to go to the pharmacist this time around. So I've gotten that, and I got my shingle shots. And after the flu shot, maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, because you were in the space a little bit, I got my pneumonia shots. So I'm pretty much set right now for all of that. And the shingle shots, I got it like earlier. And all kinds of shots they give you. When you get a certain age in life, you want to make sure you take care of yourself in every single way. And so that's what we do. And we do that because we want to take care of ourselves. And again, wear those masks, hand sanitizer, do all of those things that you have to do. They're very important. And I think you'll thank me for that. You'll thank me for it. It's not a bad thing to do. And believe me when I tell you, when you take the shots, your vaccinations, they're not going to send you in outer space, and you're not going to be a zombie or anything like that. It's a safe way to take care of your family, all of your relatives. You want to go see mom. Did you hear earlier this week, they finally are opening up the airports or the airlines to go out, so everyone could go out overseas and visit your family and friends and relatives, out of the country. You can do that now. So everything is starting to take shape, but the main thing is that even before you do that, get vaccinated. Or if you're working at one of those essential jobs and they're saying to you, well, you're going to have to do one or two things. You're either going to have to take the vaccine, get vaccinated, or each week you're going to have to give us proof that you have taken the COVID test. Each week you take the COVID test. Now, given the choice, I would probably go for the vaccine. I would probably get vaccinated, given the choice. All right. Because I don't know if you want to take all of that time out of your schedule. Some of you guys may have busy schedules that don't allow you to do that, because they tell you that when you do that, you have to go on your own time. You have to go on your own time. So therefore, given the choice, which would it be? Would you rather get vaccinated to make sure and get it out of the way? Or would you just rather, okay, since I don't want to take vaccinations or anything like that, I will go and get tested each week, given the choice. But then that's up to you. As a matter of fact, getting vaccinated is up to you. You may ask, well, why do you promote that? We don't want to get vaccinated, but there are other people out there who are listening, who are watching, and they may want to understand, the importance of getting vaccinated. And for those of you who don't, again, that's up to you. But hear here on this show, we promote it because we believe in it. So, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. So there you go. It's 5 minutes past the hour right now. Oh, no, it's 10 minutes past the hour right now. I looked at the clock wrong. 10 minutes past the hour. And in case you're just watching us, you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. And of course, we're here every Thursday between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern. Later on in the program, too, I'm going to give you that information, those wonderful black and white, lovely classic movies that you like from Turner Classic Movies. And we're going to, give you our picks of the week for the weekend. And I think you're going to like them. We're going to do a lot of other things, too. Happy Veterans Day. It's the 11th of November. Happy Veterans Day to each and every one of you out there who have been in the armed forces, have served in the armed forces, all the men and women of the armed forces. We want to thank you. Thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart because I know you've been out there and, of course, you've been so lovely about it, taking care of all of us. You go out there and you fight for all of us, for our freedom, and for your freedom as well. So we want to give our condolences out to all of the people who will memorialize this week or today for Memorial Day, all their families, but the ones who have made it, who are still here, who have gone through all of their tours, did everything they had to do, and some people have retired from the military. You served, and again, I want to thank you for that. Each week, not each week, but each Veterans Day, I wear this cap when I go out. I wear this cap, and it's a cap that says the U.S. Marine, the U.S. Marine. It's not the Marine, but it's the Merchant Marine, U.S. Merchant Marine, which I inherited from my father after he passed away, because my dad served in the Air Force. He served in the Air Force, and after he did his complete tour in the Air Force, he decided, well, I'm going to take a little break, and then I'm going to join the Merchant Marines. And he was a Merchant Marine because my dad loved to travel. He loved to be around. He loved to travel, and those branches took him places. The Air Force took him places. The U.S. Merchant Marines took him places, and so he served in both in those areas. I have two nephews. One served in the Army, and the other also served in the Merchant Marines. So I came from a military background. I didn't serve at all. I didn't serve at all because back in those days, they were drafting. When I was coming up, I was in college at the time, and I had to weigh my options. I said, okay, I can go to the military. My dad wanted me to go to not the Merchant Marines, but the Air Force, because he was a guy in the Air Force. He was in the Air Force. So he figured, go to the Air Force. I said, no. I always use a mind of my own. I said, I'm going to go to the Navy. And I had intentions of going to the Navy, but college came along and I decided to do that. And so, anyway, but that was that was a bad time during those days because that was during the time of the Vietnam War, which ended, I think, in the 1970s. It ended in the 1970s. It started open in the 50s and had that whole stretch. In the Vietnam War, I was in college. The Vietnam War was going on, and I decided I'm going to, go to college, and I did that. I did want to do something for myself in that regard. Now that's no excuse because you could take your education while you're in the armed forces as well. You could do that, but I decided I was just going to stay locally and finish off my tour in education and move along in life as I always wanted to do. And but that was it. But again, I had my dad in the Air Force. I have two nephews that were in the armed forces, and so I have a pretty strong military background. So again, I want to wish each and every one of you a happy Veterans Day. And I got to tell you, the reason why I salute you not just on Veterans Day. I also salute you guys every day. Because every day I have to be reminded, or we should be reminded, that because you're here and they're over there, wherever they are, serving this country to continue the fight for the freedom of every one of us. And it just makes me proud that even though I wasn't in the service, but it makes me proud and of the people who have gone. And I do understand the validity and the sacrifice these people made. So again, I want to thank you guys and happy Veterans Day to each and every one of you. Now I'm going to go over to Charlotte, North Carolina via telephone. Brian Camp on the line. He's got the latest developments in today's world of sports. And happy Veterans Day to you, Brian.
Well, happy Veterans Day to you too. You should be considered a veteran. You've been doing this for so many years and decades, so that makes you a veteran in the field that you're in. So happy veterans to all the men and women across who serve in armed forces to protect the borders of this great country called the United States of America, from the very first war that we have to even right now.
Yep.
God bless America, and this country has been blessed.
Yes.
We haven't always been right in what we do, but we've been blessed, and we're still it's probably still the most powerful nation on the planet. So congratulations to the armed services who serve. We salute you wholeheartedly. It is 63 degrees out here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was raining a little earlier. Now it's cloudy. It's going to rain again later on tonight. So, but 63 degrees, not bad temperature. And everybody stay dry out here in Charlotte and wherever else it is raining. But in sports, Las Vegas Raiders, who are going through a difficult time right now, this franchise seems like it's been cursed. They have waived second-year cornerback Damon Arnett, who was a first-round pick in 2020 after a video surfaced last weekend of Arnett making death threats while brandishing firearms. Wow. So he was exposing firearms. Arnett is also facing lawsuits stemming from a Las Vegas car accident last October. Now, the Raiders last week released wide receiver Henry Ruggs III in the wake of his car crash that claimed the life of a 23-year-old Tina Tinter and her dog, and has Ruggs facing felony DUI, resulting in the death and reckless driving charges that carry a possible sentence of 46 years in prison. And then last month, Raiders coach fired their former coach John Gruden for racist, homophobic comments on emails dating back to 2011. So right now, this franchise was always been a prominent football franchise over the years. It's going through a lot of turmoil. They have not drafted well. All their draft picks have either been cut, or they have not performed up to expectation, or they've just been, like I said, cut, or they're just not playing, or just didn't turn out the way that they had hoped to. In the NBA told its players, coaches, and referees Sunday that they should receive booster shots against the coronavirus, with particular urgency for those who received a single dose of J&J vaccine. Now, the league and the National Basketball Players Association, which is their union, they're working jointly based on guidance from the league's public health and infectious disease experts. Those who received J&J shots more than 2 months ago should get a booster shot. It's bad enough that we're trying to get people to be vaccinated, but they're trying to get people who are already vaccinated to get these booster shots. So it's important that you try to get yourself vaccinated, and if you're vaccinated, go get the booster shot. Portland Trail Blazers president Neil O'Shea is under independent investigation commissioned by the team into allegations of workplace misconduct. Now O'Shea is alleged to have a hostage hostile work environment with instances of bullying and intimidation. Now, Oshley is 56, has been a member of the Trailblazers since front office since 2012 when he took over as general manager. And in boxing, former NBA All-Star point guard Deron Williams is to box Jake Paul. Jake Paul is the guy, I believe, that's on these podcasts of YouTube. He's going to be on the Jake Paul Tommy Fury undercard. Now, Deron Williams is not fighting Jake Paul, but he's going to be on the undercard. Now, the 6'3" Williams, who's 37 years old, has trained for years in mix of martial arts and boxing, and owns the stake in Dallas Fortress MMA on the best regarded gyms in that sport. His opponent has not been decided yet. So that's coming up soon. In the meantime, he will be training, and we'll give you more details as time gets closer. The fight is supposed to be scheduled for December, but we don't know yet for sure. This day, November 11th, 1946, New York Knicks play their first Basketball Association of American home game at Madison Square Garden, only to lose 78-68. In 1981, Los Angeles Dodgers starter Fernando Valenzuela becomes the first Major League Baseball player to win a Cy Young Award. Wow. He's the first MLB as a pitcher. I think that what they're trying to say was the first pitcher. 1997, National League Hockey League's new Columbus franchise was announced in 2000, and a team is now, this new name would be called the Blue Jackets, after soldiers in the U.S. Now this was named because after soldiers in the Union Army back in the Civil War. The Civil War was from 1861 to 1865. 1997, WNBA announced its franchise in Detroit. Detroit has named, it was the Detroit Shock, and Washington also got one too. Washington, D.C., that is, called the Mystics. And all of this was in 1997. This will take place for the 1998 season. And that's sports.
Wow, that's great. And did you mention that there's a game on tonight, on Thursday Night Football?
Thursday Night Football, yes. It's the Miami Dolphins against the Baltimore Ravens. That game has not started yet. The kickoff will be in a couple of minutes, but you could tune in right after the show here, and you can watch the rest of the evening and be set. There's basketball, there's football, there's hockey.
Wow.
No more baseball. Baseball season is over, but you still got a lot of sports to be watched.
That's right. And it all comes your way. All you have to do is just check all of your local times, wherever you are. And there's sports for everyone. It's just, that's the good thing about sports. You got something for everyone. If you don't like baseball, maybe you like tennis, which is one of the big things now, and who makes it popular are the Williams sisters. They made tennis very popular these days. So there's all kinds of things.
Yes, tennis is a very good sport. I follow tennis as well, especially during the majors.
Yeah, great sport. Okay, Brian, I appreciate it, and I guess we'll see you back here tomorrow on the Coffee Hour.
Yes, everybody have a good night and stay safe.
Take care of yourself. Okay, that was Brian Kemp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports update. He's here each week with us, and he comes along, and there's so much great sports to talk about. If you're a sports person, which a lot of people are, I know I am, especially when baseball comes around. I can talk about baseball for days, but being that the season is over now, baseball season is over now, and so we don't talk about it. I want to say hello over there. I want to say hello to Andrea Samara. Hello, Andrea. Out of Phil. I don't know. Are you still? Where are you now? I know you're originally from Philadelphia. The last time I looked back, you lived in Florida. It's hard to keep up with you. But I'm glad you're here anyway. If you're here, let me know where you are. Can't rope her down. You can't tie her down. She's all over the place. Anyway, in case you're just joining us, you're watching Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan, and of course, I will be here with you until the top of the hour. It's 25 minutes past the hour now, so we got a lot of time left. Those of you who want to join in, you have anything to say, you want to talk about sports, anything what Brian talked about, you want to talk about that, we'll be glad to have you aboard with us. And we want to say hello to all of you guys who are watching us on Facebook and YouTube, and of course over at Instagram as well. I see you guys. Thank you for joining us. And if you're watching us on Facebook, please tag a friend. Let them know that we're out here. Tag them, tag this show, this particular show right now while we have a little time. They can join in. They missed a little bit, but don't let them miss any more. Tag them right now. And of course, if you always watch us on YouTube, we invite you, and you can do it right now as we speak. You can do it right now as we speak. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. And of course, once you subscribe to the YouTube channel, all you have to do is relax and sit back, relax, because every time we go on the air live, or if I post a video or something, anything to that nature, you will be notified. You'll get a notification, and this way you'll never miss the show. Now, for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, all you have to do is follow us as well. And I see people out there waving, so I don't want to call any names unless, of course, they want to say anything. And we're always glad to have you aboard with us each week. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, on this day in history, 1925, Louis Armstrong and his Hot Five began their first recording session. On this day in history, in 1933, Billie Holiday, her second song and first hit, called Riffin' the Scotch, is released. On this day in history, in 1939, Kate Smith first sings Irving Berlin's song, God Bless America. On this day in history, in 1942, Germany completes its World War II occupation of France. On this day in history, in 1947, Gentleman's Agreement, directed by Elia Karen and starring Gregory Peck and Dorothy McGuire, premiered in New York City, and it was the best picture of 1948. On this day in history, in 1959, the first episode of Rocky and His Friends airs. I don't know if you go back that far, but I do. I got to admit it. On this day in history, in 1963, Brian Epstein, who was the manager of the Beatles, and Brian Epstein, along with Ed Sullivan, signed a 3-show contract for the Beatles. On this day in history, in 1966, Gemini 12 astronauts Lovell and Aldrin, they got launched for 4 days in flight. On this day in history, in 1969, Jim Morrison was arrested on an airplane by the FBI for drunkenness. I don't know, that was 1969. I think times changed since then, right? You got to do worse than that. On this day in history, in 1971, Neil Simon's Prisoner of 2nd Avenue premieres in New York City. In 1973, Columbia Records released Bruce Springsteen's second album, The Wild and Innocent, and the E Street Shuffle. In 1983, the first U.S. cruise missiles arrived in Great Britain. Also in 1983, President Reagan became the first U.S. president to address Japanese legislator. On this day in history, in 1993, Pope John Paul II was hospitalized for 2 days for a fractured shoulder. On this day in history, in the year 2003, Josh Groban releases his second album called Closer. It goes to number 1 on the U.S. charts and becomes his biggest selling hit. In 2009, the 43rd Country Music Association Award went to Taylor Swift and Brad Paisley. 2011, the 25th Soul Train Award, Music Awards, went to CeeLo Green, and Jill Scott. On this day in history, in 1918, actor Stubby Kaye, whose real name is Bernard Sullivan Coxon, You would remember him if you remember the movie Guys and Dolls with Frank Sinatra and Marlon Brando. Remember that old musical? Of course, he was with Little Abner and Kapaloo. And he was born on this day in 1918, and he passed away in 1997. In 1925, comedian Jonathan Winters was born in Dayton, Ohio. He passed away 2013. 1927, jazz and blues piano player and singer and composer Morris Allison was born in Tippo, Mississippi, and he passed away 2016. In 1928, jazz vocalist and blues singer Ernestine Anderson was born in Houston, Texas. She passed away 2016. 1937, sportscaster ABC and CBS sportscaster Warner Wolf is celebrating a birthday today. He's 84. Actress Demi Moore was born on this day, November 11th, 1962, in Roswell, New Mexico. She's 58 today. Happy birthday, Demi Moore. She's one of my favorites, too. Don't hear from her too much. In 1964, actor Philip McKinnon. He is the brother of Nancy McKinnon, who played in the sitcom, I was going to say Different Strokes, but The Facts of Life is what I meant to say. Her brother, who's no longer with us, he played Tommy on Alice, and he also played on Return to the Horror High. He was born on this day, and he would have been 57 today. In 1964, actress Felissa Flockhart, who played Ally McBeal, was born on this day. Today is her birthday. She was born in Freeport, Illinois. She's 57 today. Actor Leonardo DiCaprio is celebrating a birthday today. He was born in 1974 in Los Angeles, California. He's 46. And of course, 1944, blues musician B.B. King married his first wife, Martha Denton. In 1977, actress Suzanne Summers weds host Allan Hamill. And let's see, you have, in 1984, Dr. Martin Luther King, not Dr. Martin Luther King, but Martin Luther King Sr., the father, dies on this day in history in 1984 at the age of 84. And finally, Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat passed away on this day in 2004 at the age of 71. He was born August 24th, 1933, and he was born in Cairo, England. Cairo, Egypt. And so that's this day in history. And those of you who may know something or have some kind of information on what's happening on this day in history I didn't mention, and you happen to know something that I should have mentioned, of course, I depend on you to help me out with that. So thank you so much for that. And so I want to say to all of you, and just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. Once again, my name is Frank Allan. And of course, we're here each Thursday, as you already know, each Thursday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. We thank you so much for being along with us. It's always a pleasure to have you guys aboard with us because we try to engage you guys in conversation. And if you have any conversation, of course, we would love to hear from you too. Another way I would love to hear from you, if you have any comments, suggestions, ideas, or you just want to say hello other than here, you can always get in contact with me personally. I will acknowledge that as well. I have two sources you can do it. As a matter of fact, if you're watching us on Facebook and you're watching us on YouTube, all you have to do, you Facebook people, the information is up here. Is it up there? Over here? Over there? Down here? Depending on how you're watching the show, there's information there. It has my telephone number and my email address. And the same thing for you guys who are watching us on YouTube. If you go into the chat area right there, you see the chat area at the very top. Chat area, you have all kinds of information there. But you do also have the information, my telephone number and my email address. Now, for those of you who are watching us on Instagram, it's not there for you, but I will be glad to give it to you right now. If you want to give me a call, the number is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. at 641-715-3900, extension 467134. And you can call anytime, leave a message. You can email me if you have any comments, suggestions, and ideas, or even just to say hi. And you can say hi right now. We'd love to hear from you. All of you, thank you so much for being along with us. Okay, it's 25 minutes exactly to the hour. 25 minutes past the hour. I would say 25 minutes to the hour. We've got 25 minutes before the show is over, so that gives us a lot of time to keep going. And again, I want to say hello to all of our veterans, past and present, all of the women and the men who served in the military, and all of you guys who have aspirations of going in to serve the country, and those of you who are getting ready to come out. You did your complete tour and you're coming out. I want to thank you, and thank all of you guys in advance who are just stepping in to the arena of the military life. So we want to thank you all for that. So there you go. And those of you, some of you may not have joined like me or have not been drafted. Well, back they don't draft anymore, because I remember they used to draft. And it would be the Army that would draft you. But if you chose another branch, you could be able to do that too. If you chose to serve another branch, you could do that too. So you got the Armies, Marines, and how many others? You got the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Air Force, and is there one more? Did I leave out? I don't know. I guess you guys will tag me on that to let me know about that. But there's so many branches, and I think I like to thank all of those guys, no matter what branch you come from, or have been participating in, or going into. We want to thank you for doing a wonderful job for us, and it's as Brian said, it's a task. We have a hard task along. Right over the years, it's been a hard task, but for some reason, America always bounced back. We always bounce back, no matter what the problem is. We always bounce back, and it's the same thing. Over the years, there were so many problems and war and diseases and famine and all of that. We always bounce back. And I'm just looking forward to the day that this country continue to do the great work that they're doing, and continue to take care of people who are less fortunate than you or I, people who are hungry, people who need homes, apartments, housing, or anything like that. I'm looking forward, to those days where, and I hope I live long enough to see that there's not a person on the street lying in the gutter, waiting for a meal or waiting to be sheltered, and I think we do have homeless people, but this is not the way it's supposed to be. This is not the way it's supposed to be. There shouldn't be a person in the street. There shouldn't be a person hungry. With this country of plenty, there shouldn't be a person hungry. There shouldn't be a person without clothing. And so the good thing about it too is that we help each other. You see a veteran, sometimes even the veterans, they come out of off their tour, and some of them have. They did all they can do for the country. They come off their tour and they come out with nothing, which is unfortunate. And they should come out with something. I spoke to my nephew today, who was in the Army, and we had great conversations. Being that I wasn't a military guy, so I don't know anything about it, but I did ask him. I said, do they actually take care of the military guys? Do they take care of them? When they come out, because I know, Brian, you're right, 14 military branches, he says. But I'm talking about in the United States. I don't think we have that many in the United States. There are 14. There are about all of those military, but I don't think we have 14 in the United States. I think we have about 5 in the United States, 4 or 5 in the United States, correct? If I'm not correct, correct me. Let me know. But there was in the old days, because I remember, I don't remember, but like I said, when my father was in the military, you see, when I was born, I lived in this tenement house in Brooklyn, New York. And I was the first child, of course, and lived in this walk-up, this tenement house in Brooklyn. And by the way, that house is still there. I can't believe it. All of those years, and that house is still, that house I lived in is still there. I can't believe it. And I lived in that house. It was, and we lived with my grandmother because that was my grandmother's apartment. We lived in a railroad apartment. You know what a railroad apartment is? It's one of those apartments that when you go in there, it's just like straight through. You have to go through one room to get to the other room, just straight, you know? Because when we walked into my apartment, you were in the dining room. Well, we had two doors. We had a back door and we have a front door, but my grandmother always blocked the back door. She never used that back door. So you come in through the front door, and when you come in the front door, you were in the dining room. And when you enter on the left side, further a couple of feet down, there's a little small kitchen. We call it the kitchenette. You know, they cook in the kitchen, but we ate in the dining room. And as you walk into the apartment, on the right side is the railroad. You go right through the bedroom, and you go directly to the living room. So that's that. It was a one-bedroom apartment, and we managed to. My mom, my dad, my grandmother, and me lived in that apartment. And when it came down, when my father got leave from the military, he came in, and the military made sure that he had housing for his family. So we lived in these apartment buildings, which at the time was owned by the government, and it was only military people and their families were living there. And that was in the 1950s. And consequently, the city of New York bought it out and became housing projects. And so I was raised in those projects. The Williamsburg projects, if you know anything in Brooklyn, you know, those of you who live in New York, and if you know Brooklyn, the Williamsburg projects. And so I grew up there. And so that's my military background. And that's my memory of my dad, who served in the Air Force. But it was a lot. It was a lot. I'm pretty sure you guys have some great stories too. A lot of you, especially you guys who have served or who are serving now, I'm pretty sure you have some great stories to tell, and we would like to know about it. And if you don't want to do it here, you could email me. I gave you all of that information already. All right, you could email me and let me know, what you think. So there you go. Okay, so here we are, and the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. Of course, you already know that. And we're going to be with you up until, we've got about 17 minutes to go, coming up to 17 minutes. So we got a little time left. Here's a little time left to tell you about movies. Now, of course, you love those movies, right? You love all those movies? Well, there's a lot of movies I have for you this week. If you watch Turner Classic Movies, and everybody likes Turner Classic Movies. I love, there's nothing like those black and white movies you can sit back and relax. Now, those of you who are going to be home on the weekend and you're not going anywhere, you're not doing anything special, you're not going out and about, and you're going to choose this particular weekend just to catch up on movies, well, I have a great amount of movies for you that I think you should check out. Got a great amount of movies. Let me see. They're great. Well, actually, you know something? This week, as I look here, I only have one pick this week. But I think you're going to like it. It's The French Connection with Gene Hackman and Roy Scheider. The French Connection. That's going to be on Turner Classic Movies. That comes up 1971. That was the year it was done. And it's on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And the reason, one of my favorite movies, it's a New York movie. It's a New York movie. And the New York movies, of course, I love to watch those because I love to see the sights. And I say, oh, yeah, I know that area. I've seen that area. I've been in that area. The French Connection, if you haven't seen it and, get a chance to watch it, they have a French Connection too. But I love the original one. I didn't particularly like the French Connection too much. It was okay, but the original one I loved. And it was done in New York and parts of France and in Washington, D.C., But the big chase scene, you got to watch the big chase scene. If you know about that movie, the Gene Hackman chase scene, right under the L in New York City, trying to chase the train overhead. He's under the L and he's trying to catch a crook. But you have to watch it. You have to watch it. I don't want to give the whole show away. It's The French Connection. Again, that's coming up uh, this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Turner Classic Movies. And there are other things that you could watch on Turner Classic Movies. That was just one of my picks. Now, if you would like, you can go to Turner Classic Movies and look at the banner or the menu or whatever you want to call them, or the scheduling, the guide. You know, there are other movies too. That was just my pick. There are other movies to watch, and you could just go there and watch them. You know, and if you have cable, there's also the movie on demand, and the only thing that you have to do is go there. And there's a whole list of great movies. You hit movie on demand. And it's a whole list of great movies that you probably even never even thought that would be there. And some of the movies of the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and some of the 50s, there's a whole list of them. And you can check that out too as well. You know, there people have their fire sticks. They're working on that. They're doing that. And a whole lot of great entertainment. So, again, that's the French Connection that comes on Saturday. Saturday again. And let me double check that time for you again. That's Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. And I'm sorry, that's the only pick that I have this week, but there'll be others next week, hopefully. You know, maybe I'll have more. Maybe I'll have more than one movie. That's a good one. That's a good movie. You should check it out. Okay, let's see. Oh, Brian just answered one of my questions. Brian says here, he says that that there's I mentioned the branches. So he gave me a list of branches here. Okay, so here we are. We got the Air Force, we got the Navy, we got the Army, Marines, of course, U.S. Coast Guard, U.S. Space. Yeah, these are like, well, I was thinking about like the major ones, but he's right. These are all places you can go to serve in the military. Again, there's the Air Force, there's Navy, the Army, Marines, U.S. Coast Guard, U.S. Space Force, U.S. Army Reserve, Army National Guard, the Air Force Reserve, U.S. Coast Guard Reserves, U.S. Marine Corps Reserves, and the U.S. Navy Reserves, U.S. Coast Guard. You know something? And I was going to join the Navy. So, yeah, those are all the branches there. Thanks a lot, Brian. O'Brien also says that Saturday at 2 p.m., the candidate comes on with Peter Boyle and Robert Redford. That's Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday at 2 p.m. Now, it's there. It's like I said, it's there. I didn't mention it because that was one of my picks. But Brian likes the candidate, and he just figured he'd put that one out there. So that's the candidate. And there's another one, Devil in a Blue Dress, with Denzel Washington at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. what time? 2 a.m. what day? Okay, we want to get it right. We might as well give the whole day. It's 2 a.m. That's 2 o'clock in the morning, but we got to find out what day. But anyway, the candidate is with Peter Boyle and Robert Redford, Turner Classic Movie at 2 p.m. And, you know, you might find other things, too, on different channels that you may like. There's so many things. That's why, you know, you got all of these channels. If you're a cable subscriber, you know, you got 10,000 channels. And I always say, you know, with all of these cable channels, sometimes I get a little sarcastic, and sometimes I channel surf a lot, and I say there's nothing on it. You know, I'm going here. For so long, you know, I'm twiddling my thumb. I'm trying to bam, you know, and I can't find what I want to see. But there are so many things to see. Okay, so Devil in a Blue Dress with Denzel Washington. That's 2 a.m. Sunday morning at 2 a.m. That's Saturday night into Sunday at 2 a.m. on Turner Classic Movies. So there are more. So no, Brian brings these out. You know, I mean, I didn't mention them. That doesn't mean I don't like these movies. They just weren't my picks. But Brian, you know, we went in there, did his research, found one of the things he likes. So, okay, so now I shared all of them with you. Brian is sharing them. and I share mine, and there you go. So you got those, all right? You got The Candidate, Peter Boyle, Robert Redford, Saturday at 2 p.m., Devil in a Blue Dress with Denzel Washington. Denzel, by the way, is got to be my favorite actor since Sidney Poitier, my favorite. So that's 2 a.m. Sunday on Turner Classic Movies. So thank you, Brian. Thank you for that. Are there more? Is there any more that you want to let out? Any more? What about the rest of you? You guys got any kind of movies that you want to suggest that you know is coming on? I did my picks. Other people doing their picks. It's okay. It's okay. You got picks. I got picks. Everybody got picks. We all have picks. So thank you for that. Okay, so there you go. So you got the entertainment for now. Those of you who are going to do something other than watch movies and you want to catch up on movies, a lot of people, they don't care. They don't want to catch up on movies. They don't care to. They rather be out and about doing whatever they're doing. If they have great weather coming up on the weekend, they want to do something outdoorsy, which is okay too. And of course, hey, they have, you can watch TV on your cell phone, Did you know that? Of course you knew that. Why am I telling you? Why am I telling you this? Of course you knew that. You can watch TV on your cell phone. If you're a subscriber to cable, you get the opportunity. Some of these cable outlets like Spectrum, which I'm a member of, Spectrum, you have Cox, and is Cox still around? Then you have the DirecTV, and you have Fios, and so many others. The DirecTV I could never get into. First of all, DirecTV, you gotta if you ever get inclement weather, you have DirecTV. I don't have to tell you guys if you guys have DirecTV. Whoever out there have DirecTV, I don't have to tell you that when you get inclement weather, it's gone. Unfortunately, so if I'm going to do anything, I might as well stick with cable because cable is underground, and if anything happens, it's an underground situation. But you know how it is. And then you have, again, Fire Sticks. People are getting live TV shows on that. And we come a long way as far as entertainment is concerned, music, movies. Sometimes you don't have to read anymore. They have audio books now. Every technology is different now. It's not a good thing. I'm against audio books, and I'll tell you why. The reason why I'm against audiobooks is because you take away from reading, and I do not recommend audiobooks to children at all. I do not recommend that. I would, reading is the key. Reading is the key. Audiobooks are something like you can plug in your ear. Sometimes you don't feel like reading, but if you're a regular reading, I guess, if you're a regular reader, then I guess every once in a while, an audio book doesn't, can't hurt. But I prefer just to read a book other than do a audio book. It's more fun to me. I don't know. That's just me. Okay, we got so many things in the news. You heard about Alec Baldwin may be getting sued for that situation. I kind of lost track with that story. Not too much of it. I don't get involved with it as much as I did, but I understand he may possibly be getting sued. I'm not sure by who, but I heard it lightly on the news this morning as I was going to get ready to go about my day. I heard it lightly on the news, so I'm not sure. I didn't get involved in it. And I don't know what they're going to do with this kid that shot all of those people up. 17-year-old kid with a gun. Well, where do these kids get these guns? Here in the United States. And I understand it's a big situation. People, the gun laws and between the gun laws and the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment. Is that the Second Amendment to bear arms? Is that the one? Is that the second? That's the Second Amendment. Everyone has the right to bear arms. All of us have a right to bear arms. But you see, some of these places, they sell guns like they're in a candy store. And you got to be. My thing is, I got to watch it. You got to watch out who decides who gets guns. You know, a long time ago, it wasn't that easy to get a gun. It was one of those things that you had to register. You had to get background checks. They don't do background checks anymore, do they? I don't see how they do with people easily getting guns. You just walk in the store and they have the guns in play. It's like, remember when you were a kid, you used to go to the candy store and you used to look in the glass showcase. Remember, they don't have the glass showcases anymore. But when I was a kid growing up in the 50s, they had you go into the malt shop in the candy store, and they had the glass cases, and all of the candy was right there. The guy would go right behind that glass case and slide the door open, and you could say, "I want me one of those. I want one of those." And it's the same thing with a gun. Yeah, I'll take one of those. I'll take that one. I'll take that one. Give me, the bullets to go with that one. Give me the silencer there. Let me take that easily. Put it in a bag, and you're on your merry way. That's not how it works, or it shouldn't work that way. It shouldn't work that way. So we got to be very careful on who we sell guns to, and we got to decide who actually get guns, even though we know that all of us, including me, have the right to bear arms. And they want to protect their people here in the United States. There's a big thing saying, well, since we bear arms, if we're going to bear arms, sure. But now what we want to do is we want to make sure we carry our concealed gun with us wherever we go. So right now that's not happening. And personally, if you ask me, and you didn't ask me, but I'll tell you anyway, I don't believe they should. Unless there's some kind of special deal. Obviously, if you're a police officer, you're going to carry a gun, no matter where you are. Even if you're off duty, you have that right to carry a gun because you're an officer of the law, so you carry a gun wherever you go. Someone like me or someone like you, we don't get to do that. We can own guns in our houses and protect ourselves, keep our guns, and of course you want to keep your guns away from your children. You want to, every time you come back from the range, make sure you empty the gun out and lock it up. If you have children around the house, take the bullets out, lock them up, and take the bullets and dump them somewhere, lock them up where children can't get them if you're going to own a gun. Personally, I don't own a gun, and right now I don't have any aspirations to do so. I don't have any need to do so. I'm okay. Put it that way. I'm okay for the time being. But it's good to know that I have that right to bear arms just like anyone else. And of course, if I am able to do that, I would insist that they check my background. I would insist on it. Nothing to hide, But if you go in there and say, hey, I want one of these, give me a licorice right there, a licorice gun. I'll take one of those. Same way. Remember the time they used to sell in the Walmart, right? Didn't they used to sell guns in Walmart? You just walk right to Walmart, get a gun, right there. It's right there. I don't know about Targets yet. I haven't seen anything in Targets. I mean, I go to a Target store, but they don't sell guns there. But they used to sell guns in Walmart. I don't know if they sell them anymore. I mean, I wouldn't think they would at this particular point. But yeah, it's strange. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and I want to thank all of you for being around with us. Just in case you're just joining us for the first time, please don't make it your last time. Come back again and again. And those of you who are watching us on Facebook, you know what to do. Tag your friends. I mean, it's kind of late for it now. But you can always tag your friends when we're on the air. And those of you who are watching us on YouTube, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. This way you'll never miss a show every time we come on the air live. If I post a video or something to that nature, you will be notified completely, so you'll never miss a show. And those of you who are watching us right there on Instagram, all you have to do is follow us, and you'll never miss a show too. That's going to do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back tomorrow on the Coffee Hour. Brian Camp will be here along with DJ Pete, the 2020 feature. Brian Camp with his 20 past the hour of sports update, the latest developments in today's world of sports. DJ DJ Pete, 22 the hour with entertainment news. And of course, he'll be around here with that as well. And don't forget to check out my show next Thursday. If you missed it last night, or if you missed it tonight, we'll be back here next week, right? Next week from 8 to 9 for more of Talk Back Live. I hope to see you then. Until then, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night, a wonderful morning, good evening, good night, and may God bless you, and I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.